Good afternoon, everyone. I am Anisa Dibasa. Today we will going to tackle the language scaffolding, to be followed by micro teaching of Ms. Raquesa Boyangot, showing on how this approach will be applied in teaching. Scaffolding is breaking up the learning into chunks and providing a tool or structure with each chunk. When scaffolding reading, for example, you might preview the text and discuss key vocabulary, or chunk the text and then read and discuss as you go. Scaffolding theory was first introduced in the late 1950s by Jerome Bruner, a cognitive psychologist. He used the term to describe young children's oral language acquisition. As young children are first learning to speak a language, their parents and caregivers provide informal frameworks that facilitate the children's learning. Scaffolding techniques, when used strategically and correctly, does take time, but it is well worth it. Through scaffolding, English language learners are given the opportunity and the necessary support to acquire language while meeting rigorous academic standards. There are two overarching types of scaffolds. First, the verbal scaffolds, how information is verbally presented or explained to the students during instruction. Here are ways to provide verbal scaffolds. First, model the think aloud. Second, slow your speech and enunciate. Third, reinforce contextual definitions. Fourth, simplify questions. Lastly, engage and read aloud, in which you model correct pronunciations and prosody. Second is the procedural scaffolds, tools and resources to support the students as they gain access to the learning. Here are ways to provide procedural scaffolds. First, provide explicit modeling through visuals, gestures, and aurelia. Second, allow for visual tools like organizers as students manipulate information. Third, use wait time when asking questions to give all students an opportunity to respond. Fourth, provide discussion prompts or sentence frames to support discussions. Then, allow students to collaborate with other students often as they discuss the learning. There are 6 scaffolding strategies. First, show and tell. Show or demonstrate to students exactly what they are expected to do. Children's cognitive abilities are still in development, so opportunities for them to see, develop critical thinking are essential. Second, tap into prior knowledge. Asking students to share their own experiences, hunches, and ideas about the content or concept of study and have them relate and connect it to their own lives. Third, give time to talk. All learners need time to process new ideas and information. They also need time to verbally make sense of and articulate their learning with the community of learners who are engaged in the same experience and journey. As we all know, structured discussions really work best with children regardless of their level of maturity. Fourth, pre-teach vocabulary. Pre-teaching vocabulary doesn't mean pulling a dozen words from the chapter and having kids look up definitions and write them out. Instead, introduce the words to kids in photos or in context with things they know and are interested in. Fifth, use visual aids. Graphic organizers, pictures, and charts can all serve as scaffolding tools. Graphic organizers are very specific in that they help kids visually represent their ideas, organize information, and grasp concepts such as sequencing and cause and effect. Last one, pause, ask questions, pause, then review. This is a wonderful way to check for understanding while students read a chunk of difficult text or learn a new concept or content. Here's how this strategy works. Share a new idea from discussion or the reading. Then pause. And then ask a strategic question. Then pausing again. There are some benefits of scaffolded instruction. First, students experience a supportive learning environment. Second, students feel free to ask questions, provide feedback, and support their peers. Third, teachers become facilitators of knowledge rather than content experts. Fifth, students take a more active role in learning. And the last one, students are able to take ownership of the learning and their classroom as a community of learners. Scaffolding a lesson may in fact mean that it takes longer to teach, but the end product is of far greater quality and the experience much more rewarding for all involved.